It was for myself. It was a dominant fight. What was your plan coming to this fight?
Game plan coming into the fight, we know that Lance is probably one of the most well-rounded guys in the division. He can wrestle, he could strike, and it's hard to get him out of there. So the game plan was patience. I've matured as a fighter. My coaches and I were talking about it, and I used to do stuff, home run stuff, silly stuff with no setup, and we knew that like he's way too experienced for that. So it was just all about like moving, staying low, and being patient.
How much did you grow from your last fight to this one?
I grew a ton. You know, you learn the most from losses. You grow the most from losses most of the time, unfortunately. When you win, you know, you think everything is great. Very rarely do you go back and work on your shortcomings. So that last loss, like, it changed me totally.
Congrats on the win, Chris. How eager were you to start this season and just erase last year's memory?
I was so eager. That 6-month window felt like it was a year and a half because you're sitting on a loss. The PFL season used to go to New Year's Eve, so the window was a little shorter, and I was the alternate both times, so I was in action until New Year's Eve both times. So like the layoff to get back into it was like maybe 2-3 months. This time doubled that, like 6 months. So I spent a lot of time like soul searching and just trying to become better mentally, better physically.
And what's it feel to get a win against a name like Lance Palmer?
It's amazing. Like I said, that's a legacy fight for me, just like the Bubba Jenkins fight, because we all grew up wrestling, and those guys are elite wrestlers that have transitioned successfully into MMA. So for me, beating a 2-time world champ, I mean, you can't ask for much more than that, right?
Were you surprised by his approach? Because I think a lot of people expected him to go to that wrestling more.
Yeah, a lot of people probably were, but I wasn't surprised because he probably watched me fight Bubba, and he knows how good my takedown defense is. So I knew that, you know, I'm not just going to let you in on my legs. I'm a more experienced guy now, and I know how to stop those things.
Chris, last season, you know, you were a little bit more serious. This season, not to say you're not serious, but you're laughing more, you're smiling more. Is there something you did mentally to, you know, show that you're like maybe having more fun this season?
Yeah, I am having more fun. You know what? It might not be everybody, but for me, you have to learn how to be okay with going in there knowing that you're about to get pretty much lumped up, you know, bruised up, hit, maybe dropped, and I used to need to go in there with like a ton of intensity in order to like offset what was about to go down. And now I've fought so many times that I can like walk in there with a smile on my face, kind of bopping around, knowing, you know, someone's about to punch, kick, knee me in the head, and I'm cool with it because I spar a lot more now, and I spar with all these young dudes that are trying to take my head off at the gym, and it's all love at the end. So it's kind of like getting me used to just teeing it up with people.
Yeah. And you sat there, back there, and you watched Bubba's performance. What did you think of it?
Yes, I did. He fought really well, actually. I was impressed with how poised he looked on his feet. He looked really confident, and he looked like he got himself in really good shape. So although he and I don't get along, I still give respect where it's due.
It seemed like you felt his biggest punch early and just shrugged it off. How big was that for your confidence?
Yeah, we know he throws big, hard left hands. That's one of Lance's MOs, left hands, left kicks. And you know it's coming from watching the tape, and it's like I said before, you gotta let one kind of hit you and take it, and once you take it, you're like, okay, I see what it is, and then you get that confidence from there.
Real quick, Carlos.